Namaste and welcome, beloveds.
Namaste, bienvenidos, amados.
Just 1 second. Okay, Maria, you're a little bit low on the volume. Can everybody? Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay.
Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you for translating, Maria.
Bienvenidos todos. Gracias, María, por traducir.
And today is in the United States Thanksgiving.
Y hoy en Estados Unidos es Día de Acción de Gracias.
And we're here really to talk about being in a state of thanksgiving all the time.
Y hemos sentido hablar hoy de estar todo el tiempo en acción de gracias.
And the goal of specialness, the ego's goal is specialness. I will be special.
Y el objetivo del ego es el especialismo. Yo quiero ser especial.
And, you know, it's so interesting because I remember reading that and I don't think I really got it.
Y yo recuerdo haber leído acerca de esto, pero siento que no lo comprendí.
And the way the ego works with specialness is it has special holidays.
Y la forma como trabaja el ego es tener días especiales.
Maria, is it possible for you to move closer to your mic a little bit? You're still not coming.
I don't know.
There you go.
Yes, I have my microphone.
There
here.
you are. There you are. You sound a little louder. Good. Thank you. Okay. So it sets up special days, special holidays, special celebrations.
Y habla de los días especiales, de los días de celebración especiales.
Like, you know, there's a certain time or there's a certain person where there's going to be happiness.
Es cierto momento, cierta persona donde yo voy a encontrar la felicidad.
And it loves anticipation. I'm anticipating when I'm going to have that special holiday.
Y le encanta anticiparse. ¿Cuándo voy a tener ese día especial?
And the special meal.
Y la comida especial.
And there's certain special situations where I can feel happy.
Y ciertas situaciones especiales donde yo voy a sentirme feliz.
And there's certain special gifts that someone can get me so I can feel happy.
Y ciertos regalos que voy a obtener de ciertas personas que me van a hacer feliz.
And then it proceeds to protect those holidays. That holiday is protected territory, see?
Y luego estos días especiales son como un territorio protegido.
Now, Jesus isn't taking holidays away from anyone.
Y Jesús no es que nos esté quitando los días especiales a nadie.
He's just saying, look at how you're using special things and special people and special places to deny yourself happiness all the time.
Pero él dice, mira cómo tomas momentos especiales, días especiales, personas especiales para poner ahí tu felicidad.
Specialness is the way that the ego limits the experience of love.
El especialismo es la forma como el ego limita la experiencia del amor.
You know, and I was part of that. Thanksgiving was special.
Y yo fui parte de eso. Acción de gracias es especial.
It's special and it's with my family and don't get in my way.
Y es un día especial para estar con mi familia y no me lo quiten.
Don't get between me and special Christmas holiday
No se interpongan entre yo y el día especial de Navidad
and special Easter holiday with 100 and some odd family members.
y el día especial de Semana Santa con ciertos miembros de la familia.
Now the spirit's not, the ego goes, oh, that's going to be taken away from me.
Y el ego dice, no, eso me lo quieren quitar a mí.
No, he's just going to show you how you use these seemingly special events and special experiences to stay out of divinity.
Pero nada más nos está mostrando cómo utilizamos estos días especiales para estar aparte de la divinidad.
To be blinded to the recognition of the celebration of love all the time.
Para cegarnos de darnos cuenta del amor todo el tiempo.
And special relationships.
Y las relaciones especiales.
And so what's a special relationship?
¿Qué son las relaciones especiales?
Well, all relationships are special. That's how the ego works.
Y todas las relaciones las relaciones son relaciones especiales, porque así es como funciona el ego.
That are used to prove that either love's not here or an idea of concept of love in the mind.
Y es la negación de que el amor está aquí, o de que el amor está aquí.
Okay, so the ego is always an if then.
Y el ego siempre es, si pasa algo, entonces.
Okay. If a certain set of conditions are met, these conditions.
Y si este tipo de condiciones se dan.
Okay. Then I will be happy.
Entonces voy a ser feliz.
See, if they don't happen, then I will be sad.
Y si no pasan, entonces yo voy a estar triste.
If this boyfriend does exactly my idea of what he's supposed to do, then I'll be happy.
Si este novio hace exactamente lo que tiene que hacer, entonces yo voy a ser feliz.
No, you are happiness.
No, tú eres felicidad.
So if you notice infinite light, the holy instant.
Y si nos damos cuenta, el instante santo.
It's good to do the check-in with the light.
Es útil hacer la revisión con la luz.
You just kind of check in and then, that's interesting.
Hacer la revisión y decir, sí, esto es interesante.
Does infinite light, in infinite light, does it have an if something happens, then it's light?
Entonces, en esta luz infinita existe, si pasa esto, entonces va a haber luz.
How did we come up with this stuff? I don't know.
¿Cómo podemos venir con estas cosas?
How did I come up with it? Obviously, I wanted that experience.
¿Cómo yo venía con estas cosas? Definitivamente yo quería esas experiencias.
Yes, Jesus. Jesus, did I want that experience of if then happiness?
Jesús, yo quería estas experiencias. Si esto pasa, entonces yo voy a ser feliz.
So you could consider specialness.
Entonces tú puedes considerar el especialismo
A special, specific idea of what has to happen for me to feel happy.
La idea de que algo especial tiene que pasar para ser feliz.
Notice I'm going to feel happy when X happens.
Entonces voy a encontrar la felicidad cuando es X pase.
Fill in the blank.
Llenar el espacio en blanco.
Now, here's the trick. And you can ask Jesus, you can all talk to him. So check in.
Entonces todos pueden preguntarle a Jesús, chequen con él.
Is that happiness, conditional love is pleasure. Oh, that's deep.
La felicidad, el amor condicional es placer.
Pleasure. Uh-huh.
¿Es placer?
Yes, pleasure. Conditional love is pleasure. A conditional happiness is pleasure.
Con el amor condicional y la felicidad condicional es placer.
This is deep. See, because
Esto es
we
profundo.
think happiness in the way of the world is if this happens, then. See, here it's conditional happiness.
Y
Conditional.
vemos que aquí en la forma, la felicidad es condicional. Si pasa esto, entonces voy a ser feliz.
Conditional happiness is pleasure.
La felicidad condicional es placer.
Okay. But the ego calls it, oh, happiness. That's happiness. Happiness is an if this happens, then happiness.
Y eso es lo que dice el ego. Si pasa esto, entonces eso es felicidad.
You start seeing, how you just so wronged yourself.
Y te comienzas a dar cuenta que cuán equivocado estás.
Okay, you're just delusional, and it's funny because you see how delusional. Okay, so
Y es muy engañoso y es muy divertido porque es un engaño.
but in the middle of it, it's not funny because
Aunque en medio del proceso no es tan divertido.
okay, so specialness is a condition on love. This conditional situation.
El especialismo entonces es condicionar al amor. Si esta situación pasa,
When this happens, I will be. See, it creates a trick of a future. I will be happy.
entonces crea un truco del futuro. Si pasa esto, entonces voy a ser feliz.
All to deny that you are happiness.
Todo para negar que tú eres la felicidad.
What a grand trick we played. That's a grand one. That's a really
Qué gran truco estamos jugando aquí.
okay. So happiness of God, not happiness of the world.
Pero la felicidad de Dios, no la felicidad del mundo.
Okay. Is identity. It's what is.
Es identidad, es lo que es.
Okay, because when I first heard what is, I thought, oh, what is? It's just all the things appearing is what is. No, that's not what is.
Entonces, cuando yo escuché la primera vez lo que es, yo dije, entonces es todo lo que existe. Y no, no es eso.
What is what you are. What is?
Lo que es lo que tú eres.
So, because I couldn't understand it, when I'd hear, let all things be exactly as they are.
Y porque yo no entendía cuando escuché, deja que todas las cosas sean como son.
But that's true reality. True reality, let it be as it is and quit trying to cover it over. That's what that.
Esa es realidad, pero tratamos de cubrirlo.
So, this ego is a beast. It's a beast.
El ego es una bestia, una bestia.
Specialness is a beast.
El especialismo es una bestia.
And and every time, Okay, so you have God.
Y sí, todo el tiempo, entonces tenemos a Dios
And you have desire, what's desired not to experience happiness. See, here's
y
happiness on this side. This side.
entonces tenemos la felicidad aquí en este lado y el deseo de no experimentar la felicidad al otro lado.
And then it's the argument with God on this side, the wrong mindedness. I'm going to argue with God.
Y está entonces en el otro lado la mentalidad errada que pelea con Dios.
Every time you don't follow,
Cada vez que no sigues,
when you say no to following, you're investing in limitation. I want to be feel limited.
y cuando no sigues, estás invirtiendo en la limitación.
I want to be special.
Yo quiero ser especial.
So it's you're going over to the bank of death and you're putting money in. Invested in-
Van abajo al banco de la muerte e invierte.
and the whole structures, the ego is not to see where we're putting money into the bank of death.
Y el juego de la conciencia es no ver que estamos invirtiendo, poniendo dinero en el banco de la
Okay, and
muerte.
trying to call that heaven.
Y tratamos de llamar eso cielo.
We have a little bit of interference. Here we go. I got it. Okay.
Tenemos un poco de interferencia aquí, ya no.
It's real. Look, have a conversation with Jesus. Talk to him. Take notes, as many notes as you can take as he gives you on specialness.
Es muy útil hablar con Jesús y tomar nota de todo lo que te diga acerca del especialismo.
Specialness is saying, I want hell, but I think it's heaven. That's what special.
Especialismo es yo quiero el infierno, pero quiero pensar que es el cielo.
It's you see the ego, my interaction with this person makes me feel good.
Y la interacción con esta persona me hace sentir bien. Eso dice el otro.
My interaction with this person makes me feel bad.
Mi interacción con esta persona me hace sentir mal.
Nothing makes you feel anything
Nada te hace sentir nada.
other than the desire to feel it.
A no ser de que tengas el deseo de sentirlo.
Okay. He says in a course, you experience what your wishes are being fulfilled.
Tú experimentas, como lo dice el curso, tú experimentas lo que tú deseas. Es el cumplimiento de tu deseo.
So the wish is fulfilled to feel limited.
Es el deseo de sentirte limitado. El deseo cumplido de sentirte limitado.
Every desire, oh my God, this is
Cada deseo,
every desire below your awareness that is
cada deseo
unhealed.
debajo de tu nivel de conciencia,
At least 500 in here, I searched.
al menos 500 en esto, yo lo busqué.
Yep. Is a secret wish to be special.
Es un deseo secreto de ser especial.
So we'll take some of, chapter 20. It's very illuminating when you spend time with them. This is a nice concentrated list of all the specialness.
Vamos a mirar el capítulo 24. ¿24?
This is, yeah. Well, I'm looking at chapter 20 in a new covenant right now, but we'll come back to chapter 24.
Está hablando de el capítulo 20 de Jesús, un nuevo convenio. Y luego
Okay.
vamos al capítulo 24 del curso.
Chapter 24 of Course in Miracles is the goal of specialness. The ego wants specialness.
El capítulo 24 es el deseo del especialismo.
Every single denied miracle, this is the point he's making, is specialness. Every
Cada
single.
deseo, a lo que estoy apuntando aquí es que cada deseo es el deseo del especialismo.
So, going through course with him and pulling out, he's, as he said for chapter 20 in a new covenant, go get you believes. So let's just see some of these specialness requests.
Entonces, él dice que vayamos y tomemos todas las creencias y vamos a mirar aquí los requerimientos por el especialismo.
Okay, you believe you're being punished by God.
Tú crees que estás siendo castigado por Dios.
Let's ask him, Jesus, is that you? And so he told me, he says, you desire an experience where you feel punished by God.
Entonces, Jesús me dijo, tú tienes el deseo de una experiencia de ser castigado por Dios.
Okay. Ask him, Jesus, is that the desire? Is that the wish for specialness? That desire right there. I want to be special.
Jesús, preguntémosle, ahí mismo, en eso, ¿eso es el deseo del especialismo? ¿En ese mismo deseo?
Anything other than supreme happiness is specialness.
Cualquier
This is
otra cosa que no sea suprema felicidad es especialismo. Esto es profundo.
you believe God seeks vengeance.
¿Tú crees que Dios busca venganza?
You desire to have an experience of fearing the vengeance of God and vengeance upon yourself and others.
Tú tienes miedo, tú tienes el deseo de una experiencia de, can you repeat that, Kate?
You desire to have an experience of fearing the vengeance of God
Entonces tienes el miedo de la venganza de Dios, el deseo de una experiencia de tener miedo de la venganza de Dios.
okay, and vengeance upon yourself and others.
Y venganza de ti misma y de otros.
Each wish is wanting to be anything that wants to be apart from God is being special.
Cada deseo, cada cosa de ser diferente de Dios es el deseo de ser especial.
That's self brutality.
Eso es autobrutalidad.
It's funny now. It's not funny in the middle of it.
Ahora es divertido. En medio del proceso no lo es.
Because you see, that's why we don't follow. We don't
Por eso
follow
no,
because, okay, because in the play of consciousness, the belief is that if we follow, it's punishment.
porque en el juego de la conciencia creemos que si seguimos es castigo.
This is a deep one, this specialness to unwind from.
Este es uno grande para deshacer de la conciencia.
And I'm asking Jesus about it. There simply is no way to fully unwind. I'm asking him, if there's another way, I'm in, But
Yo le estoy preguntando, ¿hay otra manera? Porque si hay otra manera, yo estoy ahí.
oh my God. He's flat out. I'm asking him. There's no way out of specialness without
No
fully
hay,
following the voice for God.
que no hay una manera de salir del especialismo sin seguir la voz que habla por Dios.
It's got to be 100% in. Otherwise, you're preserving, there's 80 here, there's 500 of them in here. You're preserving that.
Porque si no lo seguimos al 100% es querer preservar estos deseos y aquí tenemos 500.
So the following is going to be the way you're clutching, as he says, with a bony hand.
Y ese es el seguirlo es como la mano que hace clic, algo así.
Clutching with that bony hand.
Okay.
There he is.
Okay. Ah, agarrarnos de la,
Clutching with a bony hand, trying to hold on to specialness.
tratar de mantener el especialismo, es tratar de mantener la mano de ¿qué? ¿Cómo se llama eso? Sí, de la muerte.
It's listening to the voice of the serpent. The serpent.
Es escuchar la voz de la serpiente.
Specialness is a secret wish to deny infinite happiness. That's all it is.
El
I could
especialismo
go
es
through.
el deseo secreto. Can you
See,
repeat the last part?
well, specialness is your secret wish to deny yourself happiness.
El especialismo es tu deseo secreto de negar tu felicidad.
It's so profound to talk with Jesus about this.
Es muy profundo hablar con Jesús acerca de esto.
Or, or let him talk to me about it. You can read that chapter, but you want to see what that is and how it's denying at every moment supreme happiness.
Y sí, tú puedes leerlo, pero tienes que ver cómo te estás negando a ti mismo la suprema felicidad.
I mean, the Course in Miracles is profoundly brilliant. It's profoundly brilliant, this plan.
El curso de milagros es brillante, es un plan brillante.
But the only way to really get that on the inside is to lay down the swords and follow. Put down your nets and follow him.
Pero la única forma de lograrlo, de tomarlo, es, oh my God, I lost the idea.
Put down
Sorry.
your nets, like Saint
Poner
Peter,
así,
drop your net.
sí, poner las redes, dejar las redes y seguirlo, como lo hizo San Pedro.
And
Y dejar y seguir,
follow.
y seguir,
I've
sí.
said this many times. You can have some beautiful awakening experiences.
Y yo lo he dicho muchas veces, podemos tener estas maravillosas experiencias de despertar.
You can have mystical experiences.
Puedes tener experiencias místicas.
You can have mystical visions.
Puedes tener visiones místicas.
But the consistent, what he offers in A Course in Miracles is a consistent state of happiness, joy, peace.
Pero él lo que ofrece en el curso es una consistente felicidad y paz.
The big kahuna.
El gran conjunto.
Okay. The big kahuna. It's profound. It's so profound.
Es muy profundo, es muy profundo.
You can be in recognition of that it's a dream state.
Y puedes estar en el reconocimiento de que estamos en un sueño.
You can recognize there's no other.
Puedes reconocer que no hay un otro.
But as long as there's some of this lurking, you will not be in a consistent, purified state.
Pero si aún hay algo de esto, no vas a estar en un estado de purificación.
The voice for wholeness
La voz de la plenitud
is such a profound offering to us, this voice for God.
es un gran ofrecimiento para nosotros, la voz de Dios.
You know, in psychology, they talk about the unconscious mind and the subconscious mind.
En psicología se habla de la mente consciente y la mente no consciente.
And it was profound just to start having the conversation, which was the segue, obviously, of Jesus being able to talk about what's happening below our level of awareness.
Y es bueno comenzar esta conversación y mirar que Jesús te muestra qué hay debajo del nivel de conciencia.
It is no mistake that he brought this to two clinical psychologists
Y
in,
no
ni-
hay
in the
error,
70s.
y no hay error que él le haya traído o entregado esto a dos psicólogos en los 70.
But a major piece that's missing in psychology is the is recognizing that not only is there subconscious denials below awareness or desires below awareness,
Y lo que no está viendo la psicología es que no solo están debajo de nuestro nivel de conciencia estas negaciones,
but the blocking of the what's hidden as well is the memory of wholeness is buried under all that.
lo que es ver que lo que están ahí ocultando o que está enterrado ahí es el recuerdo de la divinidad.
And the abject power of the mind that we can choose to look in there and remember it.
Y el poder que tenemos de la mente de mirar ahí y recordar
And cease to deny infinite.
y dejar de negar lo infinito.
That we have all the power to cease to choose against ourselves.
Y ver que podemos dejar de elegir en contra de nosotros mismos.
Specialness is a decision to not experience God now.
El especialismo es el deseo de experimentar a Dios ahora mismo.
So we want that. I mean, why do this? I mean, it's a fire to walk. This is a fire walk looking at our own denials.
Es como una pared de fuego, mirar estas negaciones.
Why do this unless we're taking the freaking curriculum. Take it.
Y ¿por qué no hacer esto? Es tomar hacer el currículum
And be determined to find out that every line in that book is true from the inside.
y ver desde adentro que cada línea del curso es cierta.
That's the point. The point is
Ese es el punto. El punto es
put put your sign out that says supreme happiness or bust. You know, I'm not tolerating anything other than happiness, you know?
es poner nuestro aviso de suprema felicidad y no tolerar nada que no sea ello.
And the only way to do it fully, for those that want to go all the way like he did,
Y para aquellos que quieren hacerlo como él lo hizo
in the most time efficient manner,
y de la manera más eficiente en el tiempo,
is you glue yourself to this one
es apegarte a
this symbol in your mind of the memory of wholeness.
este símbolo en tu mente de la memoria de la plenitud.
Okay. And the symbols that he sends you, the mighty companions that he gives you.
Y de los símbolos que él te envíe, los compañeros poderosos que él te envíe.
And you follow what the Course says.
Y seguir lo que el curso dice.
You have a role in the atonement which I will assign to you.
Tú tienes un rol en la expiación que yo te asignaré.
Ask me which miracles to perform.
Pregúntame qué milagros llevar a cabo.
This is a course in miracles, so if we're not talking to him, how are we going to know which miracles to perform?
Y ¿por qué no preguntarle a él qué milagros llevar a cabo?
And performing miracles is accepting the assignments. See, he gives you assignments. You can see what miracles are needed, and then you can perform them.
Y llevar a cabo los milagros es llevar a cabo la función que él te asignó, eh, llevando a cabo estos milagros.
Every miracle denied is specialness.
Cada negación de un milagro es especialismo.
Every miracle delayed is specialness.
Cada retraso del milagro es especialismo.
Specialness is saying, I do not have the power to get a miracle for anything.
Especialismo es decir, no tengo el poder de obtener un milagro en nada.
Specialness is not talking to the voice for God all day, all day.
El especialismo es no hablar con la voz de Dios durante todo el día,
24/7.
7 por 24.
Because talking to the voice is referring back to wholeness, infinite.
Porque hablar con la voz es dirigirnos a la plenitud.
Until it's recognized, you refer back, it's getting you used to infinite. You have to readjust.
Porque hasta que te des cuenta que dirigirnos hacia la plenitud, hasta que nos demos cuenta que somos la plenitud.
Now that is really humorous that what's infinite has to readjust to being infinite. Because
Lo gracioso es que, can you repeat that, Kay?
it's hilarious that what is already infinite has to get used to being infinite.
Es gracioso que lo que es infinito tenga que acostumbrarse a ser infinito.
Because it's used to being stuffed like a sausage into a body.
Porque estamos acostumbrados a estar como una salchicha en un cuerpo.
And the belief that God's coming to get you.
Y que con la creencia de que Dios va a venir a atraparte.
Ask him if hiding out in a body is being in a body is the way you think you're hiding out from God. Ask him.
Pregunten si estar en un cuerpo es ocultarse de Dios. Pregunten.
It's like we think we can hide from God in a body.
Es creer que nos podemos esconder de Dios en un cuerpo.
It doesn't work.
No funciona.
Look, it gets so funny when you start hearing, every one of these things, you just look at it and you laugh because you know he's right on every one of them. That's the point you want to get to.
Cuando te comienzas a dar cuenta que él está en lo correcto en todo, te ríes.
Because you see how silly it is not to follow him.
Porque te das cuenta lo tonto que es no seguirlo.
The way out of specialness.
La forma de salir del especialismo.
See, when you follow him, he's showing you everywhere you think you're special.
Porque cuando tú lo sigues, él te muestra todas las formas donde tú quieres el especialismo.
Ask him, Jesus, honesty of God.
Pregúntele en Jesús, en la honestidad de Dios.
Do I want to see all the places where I believe in specialness has value? Oh, that's so deep.
Jesús, estoy dispuesto a ver todos los lugares donde creo que el especialismo es valioso.
Am I willing to have you show me every place in my mind where I'm keeping myself special?
Estoy dispuesto a que me muestres en los lugares en mi mente donde estoy manteniendo el especialismo.
The specialness is the ego's version of love. If I'm
El
special, I'm loved.
el especialismo es la versión de el amor del ego. Si soy especial, soy amada.
If there's the if I'm special,
Entonces hay un sí, si soy especial,
then I'm loved. Someone will love me if I have these special qualities.
entonces alguien me va a amar. Si tengo unas mm, cualidades especiales,
If I can do special things, I'll be recognized. I'll be special.
tengo unas, si hacer cosas especiales voy a ser especial, voy a ser reconocido.
All of this machinations, all these,
Todas
I don't
estas
know, what's the word for
maquinaciones,
good? There you go. Machinations. All
todas
these
estas
if
maquinaciones
thens, David calls, Kaufmeister calls them hypotheticals.
y todos estos sí, tal cosa, son, como lo dice David Hofmeister, los hipotéticos.
To make love an if then statement. If this happens, then that happens.
Entonces, si pasa esto, entonces esto voy a ser feliz.
And then I can pretend that cause is separate from effect. See?
Y entonces así puedo pretender que la causa está separada del efecto.
So funny. Jesus is the whole deal. Just let's get honest. Jesus is the whole deal of specialness to give myself hell, yes or no?
Todo el asunto del especialismo es darme a mí mismo el infierno. Jesús, sí o no.
What do you hear? Huh? What do you hear, Lena? Is that the whole thing of specialness? Give my- and call it
Eso es
heaven.
todo.
And call it
Y,
heaven.
ese es todo el asunto del especialismo y luego llamar eso cielo.
You want to get to the point where he shows you something you don't resist, because that's what the ego's always doing. It's trying to block what he's showing you.
Y eso, porque eso es lo que trata de hacer el ego, siempre bloquear lo que Jesús nos quiere mostrar.
You know, sometimes it's like, you know, he'll show you something and you go, I don't want to see that.
Y algunas veces Él nos muestra algo y decimos, no, yo no quiero ver eso.
The best thing you can do, the next thing to do is look anyway.
La mejor cosa que puedes hacer es ver de todas maneras.
I'm going to look anyway.
Voy a ver, no, de todas maneras.
I'm looking anyway.
Voy a ver de todas maneras. No, sí, no importa qué.
I'm just setting this up so I have both. Show original translation. Okay. You have to learn the tricks, this thing, the beast, the tricks of the beast.
Tenemos
It's
que ver
tricky.
los trucos de la bestia.
And learn to turn in instead of running and distracting.
Y aprender a mirar en lugar de distraernos.
Let the upset to be the signal to get to the bottom of it.
Deja que la molestia sea el símbolo para ir hasta la base de ello.
It's like as soon as there's an upset, you turn on your determination button and you turn into it.
Así que cuando tienes una molestia, oprimes el botón de la determinación y vas profundo en ello.
In the play, we're just so used to going off, something difficult comes along and then the story comes up about it, and then we head off into some safety point.
Porque la costumbre es que si aparece algo, queremos como salir de ahí, irnos a un punto seguro.
I'll go off by myself.
Me voy fuera por mi propia cuenta.
In this looking, you are going to want to run.
Y en esta mirada, tú vas a querer correr.
You're going to want to hide. You're going to want to hide.
Tú te vas a querer esconder.
You're going to want to end the life of someone.
What?
Or many.
What?
You're going to want to, I don't want to use the K word. I'm trying to use, you're going to end life.
¿Vas a querer terminar la vida?
Terminar a mighty companion.
¿Quieres terminar, quieres exterminar a tu compañero poderoso?
These are all plays. You have to learn to staple yourself to the floor and look at what he's showing you.
Pero tú vas a tener que mantenerte y hasta llevarte al piso y permitir que él te muestre.
And staple yourself in the floor in such a way that you stop the nonsense of the smoke and the mirrors. You don't go up in the smoke.
Y esto lo que significa es no mantenernos en el humo.
Okay, you don't go up in the trees and the leaves of the trees and follow it all up through the emotions, everything. You go, I don't know. You follow the course.
Sí, y no es mantenernos en las hojas del árbol, en las ramas del árbol. Tú vas a ir a la base.
There's nothing the ego likes better than to spend time explaining to Jesus what's wrong. Here's the problem. There's nothing it likes
No
better.
hay cosa que más le guste al ego que tratar de explicarle a Jesús lo que está equivocado, lo que está mal.
The greatest gift you can give yourself is just go stop it and go show me Jesus.
Pero lo mejor regalo que te puedes hacer a ti mismo es parar y decir, muéstrame Jesús.
Show me Jesus.
Muéstrame Jesús.
And he will. He'll reveal. You take your role. Your role is willingness. I'm going to see it. Give it to me.
Y él lo hará, él te lo mostrará, porque tu rol es, sí, muéstramelo.
And you staple yourself to the floor and don't go anywhere and just go, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and let this, see what this is.
Y te pegas del piso y no te mueves hasta ver lo que tengas que ver.
I'm asking if it was helpful. I've talked about this before. Well, I finally said, okay, because there's all kinds of threats. It's a constant threat state.
Sí, porque todo esto es un constante estado de amenaza.
I'm going to blow up.
Desaparecer.
So finally I just said, okay, I'm just going to let myself blow up and get that over with, get it over with.
Bueno, sí, decimos, listo, ok, voy a explotar, entonces, pues exploto, algo así.
Okay, so you remember this little diagram here at the bottom where you got the fuel. Go to the fuel. The fuel is the hidden desire. He'll show it to you.
Y tenemos aquí este diagrama, entonces vamos a la base donde está el combustible que está generando esto.
You know, it moves up hidden desires, all the thoughts and beliefs and emotions and the pain and the suffering and the storyline way up here. That's all up. That's the smoke.
¿Y para qué estar en los pensamientos, en todo esto, cuando todo esto es el humo?
You want to train. See, anything up above looking at desire is specialness.
Eh,
It's all specialness. It's all specialness.
Todo es especialismo. No mirar por la base de esto es especialismo.
Thoughts,
Pen-
thoughts and beliefs and emotions.
Mantenerse en los pensamientos, en las creencias, en las emociones.
It's just ask him. You can talk to him. You ask him yourself. Jesus,
Eh,
is all this flame and upset and emotions, is that all specialness, a symptom of specialness?
y pueden preguntarle ustedes pueden escucharlo. Mantenernos en esto, en las creencias, en los pensamientos, esto es un síntoma del especialismo.
So you want him to get you down here to the root. You want the source of what's generating the fire, the fuel, which is the desired experience.
Tú quieres ir a la fuente de qué es lo que está generando este humo.
Miracles occur at the level of desire. So let him show you. Let him show you what you
Los,
desire.
los milagros ocurren a nivel de los deseos, entonces deja que él te muestre cuál es el deseo.
Which is the funny part.
Lo cual es la parte graciosa.
Because we're constantly in the, that's what specialness is right there. Trust me.
Porque eso es el especialismo. Y míralo ahí,
It's,
confía en mí.
it's so profound when you think about it, because we say, oh, I don't trust God.
Porque esto es muy profundo porque nosotros decimos, no, yo no confío en Dios.
But I can see I never really questioned, if I don't trust God, who am I? What
Pero
am I
no,
trusting?
pero no nos hacemos esta pregunta. Si no confío en Dios, entonces ¿en quién estoy confiando?
You know, you can see like the whole thing's so nonsensical.
Y podemos ver todo esto que no tiene sentido.
You know, it's written, it used to be written on every US coin. I don't know if it is anymore. In God we trust.
No sé si antes estaba escrito en todas las monedas, no sé si ahora lo está. En Dios confío.
That's a good idea. Am I willing to do it?
Y esa es una buena pregunta. ¿Estoy dispuesto a hacerlo?
Yes or no? Am I willing to trust in God?
Sí o no. ¿Estoy dispuesto a confiar en Dios? Sí o no.
Jesus, as the symbol of God in my mind,
Jesús,
Holy
como
Spirit,
símbolo de Dios en mi mente, Espíritu Santo,
in honesty of God,
en la honestidad de Dios,
am I willing to trust you?
es-
Yes or no?
¿estoy dispuesto a confiar en ti? Sí o no.
And that's this I think next week is going to be radical self-honesty. Radical self-honesty week.
Y la otra semana creo que va a ser la honestidad radical.
Because in order to uncover all the layers of specialness, it takes this radical self-honesty of asking Jesus, am I being honest about this?
Y para ver esto del especialismo, tenemos que preguntarle a Jesús, ¿estoy siendo radicalmente honesto en esto?
Because the ego thinks that telling a story about something that happened is honesty.
Porque el ego nos dice que contar una historia acerca de algo, eso es honestidad.
Honesty is never found in the story.
La honestidad
That's
nunca se encuentra en la historia.
honesty of God is going, I am delusional and I'm willing to change. I have the power to change my mind. That's radical honesty.
Y la honestidad radical es, estoy engañado y estoy dispuesto a verlo.
Honesty is not what you say, it's where you're coming from.
Honestidad no es lo que tú dices, es de donde tú vienes.
Okay? Are you coming from infinite, the honest nature of yourself?
Tú eres del infinito, de la honestidad de tu ser.
That is speaking the voice for God.
Eso es hablar la voz de Dios.
This is such an important teaching in A Course in Miracles.
Este es un importante aprendizaje de un curso de milagros, de enseñanza del curso de milagros.
I will tell you everything to say. Why?
Yo te diré todo lo que tienes que decir. ¿Por qué?
Because if you're speaking out of wholeness, you're clipping off no room for the other dishonest voice.
Porque si tú estás hablando desde la honestidad, no hay espacio para la deshonestidad.
So that attentiveness to the voice is the only honesty that can be in this world, actually.
Ma- an-
That's
Mantener
profound.
esta voz es
You
¿me
know,
puedes repetir?
that voice is the only honesty that can be found in this world.
Esa voz es la única honestidad que podemos encontrar en este mundo.
Speaking with that voice is honesty. That's honest. Voice of
Hablar con
wholeness.
esa voz, hablar con esa voz de la totalidad, es honestidad.
Honesty is not revealing all whatever you did in your childhood, or if he tells you to say it, you know.
Y
If it's
no se
help,
trata de honestidad de decir todo lo que te pasó en tu vecindario, pero si él te dice que lo
it,
digas porque es útil, dilo.
if it's helpful for healing the mind, then he'll tell you what to say.
Y si es útil para la sanación de la mente, él te dirá qué decir.
But you see, the ego would have you admit your sins and make them real first and then forgive them. And God's not asking that of you.
Porque el ego hace esto para hacerlo real y luego tratar de perdonarlo. Pero Dios no está pidiendo que hagamos esto.
You know, Jesus is just saying, hey, look, see the truth, see that you've made this stuff up and change your mind.
Jesús dice, mira que tú has hecho esto y cambia de mentalidad.
Specialness is used by the ego to refuse to change the mind.
El ego utiliza el especialismo para rehusarse a cambiar de mentalidad.
It is a statement, I do not want to see the truth.
Dice la frase, yo no quiero ver la verdad.
That's all specialness is. It's, I don't want to see the truth that I'm infinite. It's just like,
Y eso
okay.
es lo que es el especialismo. No, yo no quiero ver
And,
la verdad de lo que soy.
and then
Como
it
soy.
and then it expresses out in just a plethora of fragments.
Y luego
A
lo
book full of
expresa en una cantidad de formas.
Here's all the ways I'm better than God. Right there.
Mira todas las formas como yo soy mejor que Dios.
Oh my gosh. It's a very humbling journey.
Es una jornada muy humilde.
But it's so happy to wash out spell. I can see every time. I could ask him now, actually, and he'll tell me.
Pero es muy feliz limpiar esto. Podemos preguntarle ahora.
It's like I'm talking to him about all, you know, how I'd get mad at him. Was that specialness? Yes.
Y yo sé que yo me ponía muy molesta y le pregunto, ¿eso era especialismo? Y me dice sí.
every argument with Jesus. After a while you quit arguing, but when I'd go, Jesus, you've heard this before. You're not helping me.
Y si ustedes han escuchado esto anteriormente, yo le decía, Jesús, tú no me estás ayudando.
Specialness is not accepting the help as he gives it. That's the bottom. It's a humble.
El especialismo es no aceptar la ayuda de él. Esa es la
It's all
base.
for me. I can see it.
Todo esto es para mí, lo puedo ver.
One out picturing of what help looks like. You're like fried.
What? Sorry.
One out picturing, one little visual about what you think Jesus's help is going to look like.
Cualquier imagen de cómo crees que deba ser la ayuda de Jesús o cómo va a ser.
I can see because we're so used to looking at form. Okay, the form is going to, if he's helping me, then the form is going to look a certain way, right?
Porque yo pensaba que si él me estaba ayudando, entonces la forma iba a parecer de cierta manera.
The point is to get to the point. This is humbling.
Y para llegar al punto, esto es muy humilde,
Where the form is irrelevant.
donde la forma es
That's
irrelevante. Tienes que llegar a ese punto.
I mean, it's like interesting, but it's irrelevant to happiness.
Porque la forma es irrelevante para la felicidad.
Happiness doesn't depend on the
La
form.
felicidad no depende de la forma.
But without following, I can see how the following is the way he uncouples us from the form, our lockdown on the form, the specialness related to form.
Pero la forma de salir de esto es seguirlo, porque es como soltar la forma.
Because you can, other people have said this too. You just feel like your fingers like hanging on you, like you don't want, to let go all these concepts and ideas, and you just hanging.
Es que no quieres soltar estas ideas, que tú las agarras así con las uñas y los dedos.
But it's just a mind game.
Pero es simplemente un juego mental.
It's a trick.
Un truco.
Of specialness, wanting to be more important than God, smarter than God.
Es el especialismo, es querer ser más inteligente que Dios.
It's 100% following. The only way to escape from all the pockets of hell in the mind is 100% in. That's it.
La forma como salimos de todos estos bolsillos de infierno que hay en la mente es seguir.
No surprise, because he says it in the book. It's for me, It's 100% in.
Y no es sorpresa, esto es para mí, es ir 100%, es estar metidos en esto 100%.
It is a commitment in the mind to be shown every scrap.
Es el compromiso en tu mente de que se te sea mostrado cada pedacito, cada morona de los deseos.
Without exception.
Sin excepciones.
That's the last unanswered question.
Eso es la respuesta a la última pregunta sin responder.
Am I willing to see what I've denied because it's true?
Estoy dispuesto a ver lo que he negado porque es verdad.
And just, it's essential that the mind lock down on that and accept that last unanswered question.
Es esencial que la mente se cierre a esto y conteste la última pregunta aún sin responder.
In other words, to be willing
En otras palabras, es estar dispuesto
to see whatever he's going to show you. He's your partner. He's like,
es
grab hold
estar
of it.
dispuesto, es estar dispuesto a ver todo lo que él te muestre. En otras palabras, es eso.
Link link arms with the mighties that he gives you and be willing to do whatever he asks you, which is perform miracles. That's it. That's really all.
Es
That's so
mantenerte con
funny.
tus compañeros que él te asigne y llevar a cabo los milagros que él te diga.
It's never about him asking you. He tells you you can do anything I ask.
Y él te va a decir que tú puedes hacer todo lo que yo te pida, dice.
But remember what he's asking you to do. Would you miracles?
Pero recuerden qué es lo que te está pidiendo que hagas, milagros.
You follow him, then you get the miracle. Then you decide to change your mind. Whatever he's showing you, I'm going to see the truth there. I'm going to see the truth there. I'm going to see this truth there.
Voy a ver la verdad en esto y voy a ver la verdad en esto, es estar dispuesto a ver.
But if you're not following him 100%, he can't reveal to you everything because you're not following is keeping specialness, which is blocking his help.
Porque no seguirlo es bloquear su ayuda.
When you follow, you're doing join up. You're joining and pointing,
Porque cuando lo sigues a él, te estás uniendo.
you're going naked to your God when you're following.
Cuando tú lo sigues, vas a él desnudo.
That's why in the guidance worksheet, that question is so profound when you grok it. You get it.
Por eso, en la hoja de milagros,
It's like you
cuando miras esta pregunta, tú como que lo captas.
because the mind is so wound down into, okay, doing this or doing that, or not doing this or not doing that.
Porque la mente siempre está en hago esto o en hago lo otro.
And so you're going, okay, and then the ego fights and go, oh, if he's going to ask me to do something I don't want to do.
Porque y el ego dice, él me va a hacer algo que yo no quiero hacer.
He's asking you to go where he asks you to go so you perform miracles. That's what he's asking you.
Lo que él me está pidiendo es que vayas a donde él te diga y que lleves a cabo milagros.
The big deal is the ego goes, well, he's going to ask me to do something I don't like you to do. I don't like to do.
Porque el ego dice, no, me va a hacer algo que no quiero hacer.
No, he's asking you to do something so you can see where you don't want to change your mind. That's the code. You have to learn the ego code.
Tienes que aprender el código del ego. Can you repeat that? Okay, sorry.
The ego's code is I don't want to do, he's going to ask me to do something I don't want to do.
Porque el código del ego es, él me va a hacer algo que yo no quiero hacer.
But you've got to see the underlying code that's under that of the ego, what it's really hiding.
Pero tienes que mirar el código que está debajo de eso, que es lo que está escondiendo el ego.
That's code for I do not want to see the truth of who I am.
El código es yo no quiero ver la verdad de quién soy.
I do not want to change my
Yo no
mind.
quiero cambiar de mentalidad.
I do not want to see the miracle opportunities he's going to present to
No
me.
voy a ver, no quiero ver la oportunidad de milagros que Él me quiere presentar. Vamos.
I want to keep my mind protected from seeing the truth.
Quiero mantener mi mente protegida de ver la verdad.
That's why the mind has to shift to, I will see whatever he's going to show me. The last unanswered question is pivotal.
Y ahí es donde tenemos que contestar la última pregunta aún sin respuesta. Es básica.
And well, you can't. I asked him, can you get through the borderland without it? No, you'll be stuck in borderland forever.
Y lo que él me dice es que nos vamos a mantener en la zona fronteriza por siempre si no contestamos esta última pregunta.
Because there'll be scraps, see, that are being protected because you're not willing to turn into those assignments.
Porque no vas a estar dispuesta a ir completamente en estas asignaciones.
So it's turning in, you turn into what he seems to ask you to do, but you focus your mind on the miracle. What miracles? Instead of, oh, I'm doing this, it's going, no, what miracles is he trying to show me I need?
Y no nos enfocamos en la actividad en sí, sino qué milagros tienes que mostrarme aquí y necesito ver aquí.
And then the other thing he taught me is to staple my feet into the assignment and don't move off of it until he says I'm done.
Y es como mantenernos en la asignación y no nos movemos hasta que él nos diga que está completo.
Because that is the favorite thing of the ego, is to jettison. It loves jettison.
Porque esto es una de las cosas favoritas del ego.
Like my brother had these cute little rockets, and you fuel them up and then you'd send that rocket off it was fun, it'd go take off into space.
Y mi hermano tenía estos cohetes y que lanzaba hacia el espacio.
The favorite thing the ego wants to do with the mighty companions that Jesus gives you for healing
Y lo favorito que quiere hacer el ego con los compañeros poderosos que Jesús te da
is to load them up in a little rocket and send them elsewhere.
y lo que quieres es meterlos en este cohete y lanzarlos por allá.
When you see how precious this is, it's the only way to unwind from specialness is to accept the assignments he gives you.
Cuando te das cuenta lo precioso que es esto, porque dejar el especialismo es apegarte a las asignaciones que él te da.
And this is what the ego does not want to do.
Y eso es lo que el ego no quiere hacer.
It doesn't want to say, well, what am I going to do on Thanksgiving Day?
Lo que quiere hacer es, ¿qué tengo que hacer en el Día de Acción de Gracias?
My whole family's getting together.
Toda mi familia está junta.
Well, if you want a healed mind, you'll say, Jesus, what's most helpful for healing my mind today?
Pero si tú quieres sanar tu mente, preguntas, Jesús, ¿qué es lo más útil para la sanación de la mente hoy?
And then you do that.
Y luego simplemente haces eso.
And the ego scream, that's so cruel. And how can you do that to your family and all these other things?
Y el ego va a decir, ¿cómo le vas a hacer esto a la familia? Toda esta clase de cosas.
But like my experience has been, it becomes profound with if you're given to be and it's part of the healing of your mind. It's profound. You never had a relationship. You see, you had an idea. You didn't know who your brother was or your earthly sister was.
Porque tú no tenías ni idea de quién es realmente tu hermana o tu hermano. No tenía ni idea.
I can't explain it. You're because it's been given over and that relationship is you're like I could see I was determined I'm just going to have every relationship squeaky clean. Every one.
porque yo quiero que cada relación esté, o quería que cada relación estuviera totalmente limpia.
And then you're infinite together, you know? Why not?
Y luego eres infinita juntos, son infinitos juntos. ¿Por qué no?
But there but specialness is going to come up and claim, you know, I'm going to lose my brother or my sister or my daughter, my, you know, whatever, my possession. My
Porque el especialismo viene y dice, voy a perder a mi hermana, a mi hermano, a mi hija, a mi posesión.
Anyone who loves you,
Cualquiera que te ame.
they may not understand it,
Quizá ellos no lo entiendan,
but if the call of your heart to know God, then don't mess around. Kids.
pero si es el llamado de tu corazón, no tontees más.
Get in there and see who's here.
Y métete en esto y mira quién está ahí.
Because ultimately the only thing you need to face is the image, the false image that you made, so you can say, no, I don't think I'm having that anymore. That's it.
Porque lo único que puedes ver es la falsa imagen y donde tú dices, no, ya no quiero más esto.
Nope, not having anymore.
No, what?
No, I'm not having any more of that. Thank you.
No, no quiero nada más de eso. Gracias.
And to see that's the whole game. The whole game is to pretend like we're too weak to say no to the whole shebang.
Y ese es el juego. Creer que somos muy débiles para decir no.
Too weak to say no to Genesis.
Muy débil para decir no al Génesis.
Oh my gosh. Okay, go for God. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Dios santo. Vamos
You
por Dios.
start to see how hilarious. It's funny. It's really funny. Okay, what we managed to do somehow without doing anything. You hear that, but it's you want to experience every line in the course. You want that in on the inside.
Y tú vas a querer experimentar todo lo que dice el curso desde adentro.
What are we doing this for if we're not going to go for it and find out? I could see I finally had to know, is this true? Let's find out.
Es como darnos cuenta que esto es verdad. Démonos cuenta de que esto es verdad.
You know, it's like, what am I dinking around for? No, stop dinking. I'm going to find out if this is true.
Y es dejar de tontear y simplemente encontrar que esto es verdad.
But if you're running the show, it can't happen. That's the deal.
Pero si
Again,
tú te quedas tonteando en el, esto no va a pasar.
because, you know, specialness is, I don't want to hear from you.
Porque el especialismo es, no quiero escuchar de ti.
And then, like he says, I read in the notes, Helen's notes somewhere,
Y como él dice, lo leí en algunas de las notas de Helen,
the power you have, you can demand it. He goes, you'll demand it. You demand your freedom. I'm free from this.
dice que podemos demandar nuestra libertad. De,
Because you
de-
see, your mind's powerful. You don't have to be subject to these plays anymore. Get your miracles.
porque tú sabes que tu mente es poderosa y que puedes obtener tus milagros.
So we're back in gallery view for the
Estamos
beloved.
viendo la galería.
For the beloved, you see the dogs right here. Just it's
A
priceless.
donde los amados.
He's sitting in the chair that, the share chair, just totally innocent, belly up. That's a
Sí, está acostado aquí en la silla y con su barriguita mostrando.
I don't have a way to get a camera over there, but it's like that's what we need to know. We need to go belly up, put our tummy up and just go, give it to me, Jesus.
Así tenemos que ir, recostarnos con la barriguita hacia arriba y decir, ok, Jesús, dámelo.
Okay, any questions? Remember, your questions are for the whole, they're for the celebration of all that is. It's no pressure. No pressure.
Entonces, recordemos que todas las preguntas son para la celebración de lo que somos. No hay presión, no hay presión.
Or be guided by Jesus and then speak the voice. Or if you're not sure about something, let's ask him.
Y si no estamos seguros
You can
acerca
go.
de algo,
Lena,
preguntémosle a
just,
Jesús.
Lena.
Maybe here.
No, there's no camera there, Lena. Here. You can just the silencio.
No hay cámara ya.
We're trying to get Lena on camera. The dog's right here. Okay, you got to move. Come sit right here. He'll move. You can come sit with him. Tell her to come.
Okay, no problem.
Really? No, you can come, Lena.
No.
No dog. It's ridiculous. I would just come sit on him. Okay. All right. Maybe. Yeah, we'll try. I can
Parece que el
bump him
perro no
out.
se quiere mover y no puede sentarse en línea.
Okay. Okay, maybe a little más status. Okay, anyone else have a pregunta? Any other questions? Or anything you're learning from Jesus about specialness? He does some fun things to unwind us from specialness, that's for sure.
¿Alguien quiere compartir algo que haya aprendido de Jesús acerca del especialismo?
Yo desde aquí nada más voy a hacer las preguntas. ¿Me escuchas, María?
Sí. Can I ask my question from here? Says Angelina. Okay.
Yes.
Tengo dos preguntas que hacer.
I have two questions.
Okay.
Y la primera es que en el curso de milagros Jesús dice que no nos va a arrebatar las relaciones especiales.
And Jesus says in the Course in Miracles that he's not going to take away our special relationships.
Sino que si se las entregamos, se las va a transformar.
And he says that if we give our special relationships, he's going to transform it.
Esa es una pregunta y la otra es...
And that is one question. Espérate a ver que te conteste.
But I'm not sure what the question is.
Pero no estoy segura. ¿Cuál es exactamente la pregunta? Dice la primera.
¿Por qué de cierta manera no estamos, digamos, con la familia siguiendo a Jesús?
Why we cannot be with our families and also follow Jesus? Is the question.
Well, that's just part of trusting him implicitly for the healing the mind. What's most helpful to heal the mind?
Y aquí es confiar implícitamente en Jesús. ¿Qué es lo más útil para la sanación de la mente?
So when you follow him,
Entonces,
What
cuando tú
he's
lo
trying to
sigues a
say to
él,
you is when you're starting out in the course, every relationship you have is a special relationship.
cuando te das cuenta en el curso que todas las relaciones son relaciones especiales.
So he's merely helping us transform every one and use it to transform our mind back from specialness to wholeness.
Lo que él está haciendo es que nos está ayudando a transformar estas relaciones especiales por relaciones plenas.
So with his help, we're transforming special relationships to holy relationships.
Con su ayuda estamos transformando relaciones especiales por relaciones santas.
And he knows the best conditions for those of us that want to transcend the world. He knows what the best mighties for us to be with for that to happen.
Entonces él sabe cuáles son los compañeros poderosos que se requieren para que esto pase, para que esta transformación no ocurra.
And sometimes it's truly not it's not helpful for healing the mind to be in proximity. It's actually easier to heal the mind to step outside the familiar family relationships for a time. You don't know what's going to happen in the future, but for a time.
Entonces dice que por un tiempo puede ser que no sea lo más útil estar en proximidad con las personas de la familia. Así sea por un tiempo. No sabemos qué vaya a pasar en el futuro.
There's a tremendous amount of specialness in these relationships where we're holding people. You're not.
Porque hay una cantidad grande de especialismo en estas, de tratar de mantener estas relaciones.
Family, the whole point of having a family is to deny
Porque
God. I'm just saying.
el punto de tener una familia es negar a Dios. Y tengo que decir.
Okay. So you still have to heal those relationships.
Tú aún tienes que sanar esas relaciones.
But you don't necessarily need to be in proximity with them to do
Pero
it.
tú no necesitas estar en proximidad con ellos para hacerlo.
It's for a time to step away to see where all the specialness is. And then, who knows what's going to happen in the future.
Y puede ser por un tiempo porque no sabemos qué pueda pasar en el futuro.
He still sends me to see my family or family members come here.
Y tú sabes que él me ha enviado a ver a mi familia o algunos miembros de la familia han venido aquí.
But for those who want, and he doesn't take anything away. He's just saying, if you want to know God, here's the way to do it.
Y no es que él te esté quitando nada. Él dice, si tú quieres sanar tu mente, esta es la forma de hacerlo.
So he's not taking away anything, because he's not taking them away. He's just saying, you need to see this differently, and stepping away from them is a helpful way to do that.
Y él no te está quitando nada, te está diciendo, si quieres ver esto de diferente, quizá necesites estar fuera por un tiempo.
And letting him guide every step.
Y dejar que él lidere cada paso.
Because these family relationships are the bastion of denials in them.
Porque estas relaciones con la familia son negaciones.
All the identity around mothers and aunts and sisters and brothers and all this identification with specialness.
Todos estos conceptos que hay con relación a madres, hermanos, hijos, es especialismo.
So all he can offer, and lots beings turn him down, but all he can offer to you is the ideal environment with the ideal mighties for you to really look deeply into your mind with focus.
Porque él lo que hace es darte el ambiente ideal para que te mantengas enfocada.
You know, and then we can say yes or no.
Y luego nosotros podemos decir sí o no.
Gracias.
Thank you.
And I appreciate Lena asking that, because it's hard. I can see in the play, it's hard to see the value of stepping away from that.
Y es muy valiosa esta pregunta de Lina, porque sé que en la forma es muy difícil mantenerse uno alejado de ellos.
You know, and I give myself as example of
Y
this.
yo puedo poner mi ejemplo en esto.
In my family, I think since the late 50s or mid 50s, so that's 70 years of Easter reunions
Eh,
every year.
y pues en mi familia, como desde mediados de los 50, más o menos por 70 años, hemos celebrado la Semana Santa.
And my attitude, I mean, I was like, became an organizer of it and get everybody together. And what's wrong with all those people that don't come to the family reunion every Easter?
Y entonces me convertí en la organizadora. Entonces yo decía, pero ¿qué pasa con esta gente que no viene a pasar con la familia en Semana Santa?
You know, you know, because there's something wrong with you, because family is important.
¿Qué le pasa? Hay algo equivocado porque la familia es importante.
But, you know, as Jesus worked with me, I could see it wasn't anymore my function to be orchestrating those things. It wasn't really in the call of my heart.
Y cuando Jesús comenzó a trabajar conmigo, me mostró que no, que eso no era mi llamado a mi corazón y que esa no era una función que yo tenía que llevar a cabo.
And now I see it. You know, I went to so many of those. Were they in guidance, Jesus? You ask them. No.
Y pregunta, muchos de ellos, can you repeat that, Kate?
Was it in guidance for me to go for so many years? Yes or no? Jesus, you can ask them.
La pregunta es, y ustedes lo pueden hacer, ¿estuve en guía para que fuera tantos años a esa reunión?
It was keeping the image of the good daughter, the good niece, the good sister. You see all that images.
Era mantener la imagen de buena hermana, de buena tía.
Honoring the grandparents.
Honrando a los abuelos.
Now I still love my grandmother, you know, but and all the members of the family, I'm grateful for him. And like about 2 years ago, he sent me back to the reunion.
Y yo aún valoro mi familia y él me envió incluso hace 2 años a esta reunión.
But the experience, well, the words come to me. There's no past in it, you know. There's no love because in it.
No hay un amor condicional, como no hay amor si pasa esto.
You know, the happiness or the joy is not because of this event.
La felicidad de hoy no depende de este evento.
It's not because of family members.
No es por mis miembros de la familia, por los miembros de la
Now,
familia.
and I have 3 sisters and 3 brothers.
Y yo tengo 3 hermanos y 3 hermanas.
And it's for a time. I would, well, I still am in contact with my mother. She's 93 when he guides me.
Y incluso aún yo estoy en contacto con ella, con mi madre, que tiene 93, y estoy en contacto con ella cuando él me guía.
But my priority is God, and whatever Jesus asked me to do. And then when I'm with them, I'm in the celebration with them.
Pero mi prioridad es Jesús, Dios. Y si Él me guía que esté con ellos, yo estoy con ellos.
And you don't know how it's going to play out in terms of spending time with them or how it's going to be, but you're going to be happy no matter what.
Y no, bueno, que no estás mirando cómo va a ser. Simplemente tú vas a estar con ellos y vas a estar feliz, no importa lo que pase.
Like as many of you know, he sent me to my brother's property just this past year up in Mississippi, and I went bass fishing at his on his
Eh,
little lake there.
y como saben, él me envió el año pasado a Mississippi con mi hermano a pescar.
And sat in a storm shelter in the tornado shelter. It's you're just un you just in the celebration. That's what he's offering, no matter who you're with. In every situation, you're in the celebration.
Tú estás en celebración todo el tiempo, independiente de cuál situación estés, como yo que estaba en un búnker de protección para el tornado.
And if he told me, look, you're no longer in function with any family member, I would say yes to it because I do what he asks.
Y si él me dice que ya no estoy en función con algún miembro de la familia, yo lo voy a seguir porque yo hago lo que él me dice.
But he hasn't asked me. I'm still, when he guides me, I'm still in contact with. I'm trying to think if there's any sibling. Every one of my siblings. I mean, not frequently, but I ask him, can I call so and so or whatever, and sometimes he says no, sometimes yes, but you're still happy.
Y algunas veces yo le pregunto, ¿puedo llamar a esta de mis hermanos o a mi hermano? Pero no importa, simplemente yo estoy feliz siempre.
I just look at it's glorious. It's so pure because I was determined for every single one of them to have no scraps.
Y es glorioso porque yo he estado dispuesta a no tener residuos en ningún deseo.
And I didn't have to be with them for that healing. I just asked Jesus, can I look at this? Can I look at this? So every single relationship, so it would be squeaky clean.
Y yo no tuve que estar con ellos para limpiar o sanar estas relaciones y para mantenerlas totalmente limpias.
So he's not taking anything away. He's just showing you where you're taking things away from yourself.
Él no te está quitando nada, simplemente está mostrando dónde tú te estás quitando a ti mismo.
He can only show us what special relationships we're using to torture ourselves.
Puede mostrar qué relaciones estás utilizando para torturarte a ti mismo.
And it's not easy to see because it's not easy to see. And the ego is going to seek that out, like a relationship between a mother and a daughter. And this daughter and I have something special going, and it's a denial of God. You can ask them.
Y no es una cosa fácil de ver, porque vemos que hay este especialismo como que esta hija tiene algo especial, pero todo esto es una negación de Dios.
And you will be tested with your close family, whether you're going to follow or not. And it's not easy, to play.
Y vas a ser testeado con estas relaciones. como si estamos dispuestos a seguirlo, incluso en estas relaciones.
Where you're visiting your family and everybody else is going over here, and Jesus is saying, well, that's not guidance.
Y, por ejemplo, cuando vas a visitar a tu familia y todos ellos van hacia un lado y Jesús dice, no, ese no está en guía.
But the power that comes in from that uncompromising following,
Pero el
happiness.
poder que viene de este seguir sin transigir es felicidad.
They're pure, it's pure. When he still had me cook with my sister just this last visit, we love cooking together, and she had shrimp, for crying out. So
Y incluso él me deja aún cocinar con mi hermana porque él sabe que me gusta cocinar con ella.
our function is to go where he asks us to go and perform miracles. That's our function.
Nuestra función es ir a donde él nos diga que vayamos y llevar a cabo milagros. Esa es nuestra función.
It's trust. It takes a lot of trust. I get that determination and trust to just 100% follow.
Es confianza y seguirlo al 100%.
It leads one way, though. It's a one-way door to infinite.
Esa es una puerta al infinito.
Okay, and Lena, you had a segundo pregunta, second question.
Ya me la contestaste, gracias.
You answered both
What?
already. You answered both already. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lena. It's such a good one to reflect on for me. So thank you.
Gracias, Jesús. Gracias, Lina. Esa es una muy buena una reflexión muy buena para mí.
I've said this, it's so like it's like you've never been yourself with anyone, really, because it's like a constant negotiation in the mind in these special relationships.
Es como, como lo he dicho antes, esto es una constante negociación en la mente con estas relaciones especiales.
Like each being is like a little constellation of all the ideas and denials of divinity.
Porque esto es como toda una constelación de ideas y negaciones en la mente.
Well, you've heard him say the reflection of what's going on in the mind.
Pero tú puedes ver lo que está pasando ahí en la mente.
It's all I can say is how precious it is to turn every relationship to him, turn everyone over.
Lo único que puedo decir es lo precioso que es entregarle todas las relaciones a Jesús, cada una de ellas.
And then do exactly what the Course says.
Y luego hacer exactamente lo que el curso dice.
I will go everywhere you ask me to go.
Yo iré a donde tú me digas que vaya.
I will only say what you tell me to say. That's the hardest.
Solo diré lo que tú me digas que diga. Eso es una parte dura, difícil.
Because we like the voice of the devil so much.
Porque nos gusta mucho la voz del diablo.
Everything I ask, perform miracles. It's really a simple plan if we'd stop saying no to it.
Y en verdad es un plan simple si nos damos cuenta.
But it's so simple. It really is simple.
Es muy simple. Es en verdad muy simple.
Twitch, miracle.
Molestia, milagro.
Change your mind. Twitch, change your mind. Twitch, change your mind, and a couple of 100,000 of those, and then you're squeaky.
Y una molestia, un milagro,
That's
y
what
es
it felt like.
como cientos de veces esto, y vas a tener tu mente limpia. Cambio de mentalidad.
You know, because guess who the first one's going to be that's going to complain at how much time this is taking?
Y te vas a
God,
quejar
it's
de,
taken a lot of forgiveness.
y vas a quejarte y decir, uy, esto requiere muchísimo perdón.
This is taking a lot of forgiveness. I'm just saying, Jesus, this is
Esto está requiriendo
a lot of forgiveness.
muchísimo perdón, pero Jesús, mira, está requiriendo mucho perdón.
The complication is not
La complicación es no.
plan. The plan is not complicated. It's
El
simple.
plan no es complicado, es simple.
What's complicated is all the ways we've devised to say no to the plan.
Pero lo complicado es todas las formas que encontramos de decirle no al plan.
And refuse to change the mind. That's it. You know, these are all the ways I don't want to see the truth.
Y rehusarse a ver la verdad. Todas estas son las formas de rehusarnos a ver la verdad.
And it's great. You can do chapter 20. It's helpful and you develop the dialogue with
Y
Jesus.
sí, es muy útil hacer el capítulo 20 y tú generas o desarrollas una relación con Jesús.
But I realized if I had not started following him, at a deep level and trusting him and stepping out of my comfort zone, I would have never trusted him enough to take these to squeaky zero.
Y realmente, sí, pero me puedo dar cuenta por mí que hasta que no lo seguí al 100%, no pude llegar al 0 de limpieza.
To hear him well enough, so when he told me you're too tolerant, I said, you're right.
Y cuando él me dijo, tú eres muy tolerante, y yo le dije, sí, estás en lo correcto.
And then you can make a decision in your mind to cease to tolerate that stuff because you have the power to do so.
Pero tú puedes tomar la decisión de no aceptar más esto porque tienes el poder para hacerlo.
So the plan is simple. It's the denials that are complicated and why we argue with him about his plan. Sorry, Jesus.
Entonces el plan es muy simple. Lo complicado son las negaciones y los argumentos que tenemos en contra del plan.
Ask him if you relish. Jesus, do I relish arguing with you about your plan for me?
Preguntémosle, Jesús, ¿yo disfruto quejarme del plan que tú tienes para mí?
When you get the yes, you know.
Cuando
Yeah, I love it. Just see how much you relish it.
Cuando tú
That's
obtienes,
all he's going to show you.
y eso es lo
How much,
y eso es lo único que él te va a mostrar, cuánto
how much the puppet voice goes, this is terrible. God, I hate this. The spiritual awakening sucks. Like that.
Entonces cuando tenemos esta marioneta que dice, no, este despertar espiritual es horrible, esto sí, es
Terrible.
terrible.
I've been in terror for days, that story.
Toda esta historia de estado en terror por días.
And then he takes you down there and you see you loved, relished, reveled in every minute of that.
Pero si vas profundo y te das cuenta que lo adoras, que te encanta.
And that you chose it.
Entonces se lo muestra.
The complication is not allowing ourselves to see, I chose this. I don't want to admit that I chose this.
Pero, y ver que lo hemos elegido y no, porque no queremos admitir que lo hemos elegido.
The devil made me do it, you know?
El diablo me lo hizo hacer.
But when you hit that pay dirt, you get used to being with them and you just going, I am not tolerating this, my mind, and keep showing me Jesus till I'm squeaky clean. The relief, it's just relief. That's all.
Pero cuando vas profundo y limpias todo esto, es una gran liberación.
And you just relief and you can finally breathe. And
Y una gran liberación y finalmente puedes respirar.
And then the joy comes, and then you just have, more and more joy. And then you got the contrast. If it's not joy, okay, I'm getting another miracle.
Y si y vemos el disfrute y vamos por otro milagro.
Get your miracle.
Obtén tu milagro.
It's a simple plan if you're determined to follow and you're determined to get your miracles. It's a simple plan. I mean, I can say that now.
Es un plan simple.
The arguments weren't.
Lo que no fueron fáciles, lo puedo ver que lo que no fueron fáciles fueron los argumentos, las quejas.
Relishing the denial of miracles is not simple.
Disfrutar la negación de los milagros no es simple.
And then the course, like as I've said, it became a course in why I see in that how many miracles I did not want.
Y luego se convirtió en un curso de ver cuánto no quiero los milagros.
Oh my gosh. And I'm not going to get a miracle and you can't make me. That's what we're saying to Jesus all the time.
Y decimos, no quiero tus milagros y tú no me vas a obligar. Eso le decimos a Jesús.
You can't make me have my miracle. I mean, well, that's what we're doing. It's silly.
Es tonto, decimos, no quiero, que no me vas a obligar a aceptar los milagros.
Amen, Jesus. Any other questions? It's been full on, man.
Amén.
Specialness. It's humbling. Look, the only way out of specialness is to have the humble pie.
La única forma de dejar el especialismo es tener el pastel de la humildad.
And to eat as much as possible of the I am wrong pie.
Y comer del pie de yo estoy equivocado.
Amen, Jesus.
Lo que más puedas. Amén, Jesús.
Okay. Anything else before we sign off and go forth to ask Jesus to guide us to even more miracles? Any other questions?
¿Alguna otra pregunta?
Jesus, thank you so much for this session.
Otra pregunta.
Oh, there's a pregunta. Where?
Ay, no. Ya estoy cansada. ¿Podrías dejarla? Porque la verdad estoy que tiro la toalla. I am tired. Okay, I don't know. But, maybe, Liz, do you want to continue?
No, I'm just asking if there's any more questions. I think it's pretty much listo.
Yeah,
right?
but Evangelina says that she has another question.
Okay, just one more. Okay, Maria, we'll do short. Gracias, Maria. Just ask Jesus. Do we keep going? What do we hear? Oh, yes. Okay. Real quick. Okay. Okay,
Una
pregunta.
pregunta rápida.
Sí,
Quiero una pregunta rápida, Lina.
Realmente, ¿cuál es el deseo que tengo atrás de la objeción de querer ir a ver a mi familia?
I want to know what desire is underneath of this desire to go to visit my family.
¿Cuál es el deseo?
What is the desire?
Well, the belief is that it's a source of happiness. This constellation is the source of happiness.
El deseo es de creer que esta constelación familiar es la fuente de la felicidad.
The desire I feel out of control, and I can gain control through that way.
Me siento fuera de control y puedo volver a tener control a través de esto, de
That's
esta
what I
manera.
hear. You
Eso es
ask,
lo que
what do you
escucho.
hear?
Tu pregunta, ¿qué escuchas?
Oh, it's feeling really out of control right now. That's a desire. Desire experiences out of control, and then try to get back control through that proximity of those beings would make me feel more in control.
Entonces, me siento fuera de control y trato de tener control estando en cercanía de estos seres que que me dan control. Algo así.
I'm asking anything else, Jesus? I don't hear anything else. What do you hear, Lena? She's pretty clear here.
Estoy preguntando qué más hay y escucho que es eso, algo, escuches algo más porque tú estás muy clara.
No, creo que está correcto.
No, I think that's right.
There's some kind of safety. The ego's not feeling safe right now.
Hay alguna clase de seguridad. El ego no se está sintiendo seguro ahora mismo.
Jesus is saying because she's doing really deep, profound looking right now.
Y Jesús está diciendo que, porque es que ella está haciendo una mirada muy profunda ahora mismo.
Wow, he's saying every rule the ego has about safety is being violated right now.
Todas las reglas que el ego tiene acerca de la seguridad están siendo violadas ahora mismo.
See, this is, first of all, it's profound that she asks and recognizes this.
Esto es muy profundo que ella haya preguntado y haya reconocido esto.
Because the real upset is the ego is it's being really exposed. See, it's getting really exposed. The deeper you go in the mind, you're really getting into some of the core.
Porque tú estás yendo como a la base de ello.
And it's going to hunt for a way to avoid this really deep, penetrating looking.
Y él va a tratar de evadir esta mirada profunda que se está haciendo.
That she's doing very deep introspection with Jesus, very deep. And so the ego's not going to be happy about it.
Porque ella está haciendo una mirada, una introspección muy profunda con Jesús. Y el ego no va a
But
estar
this
feliz
is
de ello.
this is the time to staple your feet to the floor, just an example, and go deeper. It's like you turn in deeper with it.
Y esto es un ejemplo de pegarte al piso con él y ir profundo.
There will be a time for visiting, but it'll be pure, it will be given, the healing will have taken place that needs to taken place, and then that'll be it'll be given, as an assignment.
Y sí, vas a tener un tiempo para ellos y va a ser dado como una asignación.
the power of Jesus, he knows, he's like a laser beam. He comes on in and he knows exactly what it is.
Y Jesús es como un láser, como un rayo láser que sabe exactamente dónde
He's
tiene
like,
que y lo
here
que
it
es.
is. Here's the desired experience.
Él dice, mira aquí el deseo de la experiencia.
And getting to the deepest layers of the desire for the experience of out of control.
Y para ir a las más profundas capas de este deseo de fuera de control.
Because the secondary gain on that is, well, happiness comes from out of control. The belief that there's happiness and safety in keeping that desire. There's safety, there's some kind of safety in it. So it's trying to protect that.
Entonces parece que hay la creencia que hay seguridad como un juego secundario y que tienes que hacer algo para preservarlo.
Yeah, because this is very much openness to deep looking, because the ego on something like this, most beings would pack their bags. I'm definitely.
Sí, esto es porque muchos seres estarían empacando la maleta, algo así, por lo que estás haciendo.
But you guys can all ask him, is there like a ton of love under this?
Y todos ustedes pueden preguntar, ¿debajo de esto hay una tonelada de amor?
See, now she's given a huge gift to everyone because it's pointing out how the ego uses the specialness in relationships to divert from deeper looking.
Esto es un gran regalo que ya nos trae porque nos está mostrando cómo el ego usa las relaciones especiales para desviar la mirada profunda.
And you will see every time you look with him in guidance around your family, if you're honest, and then you ask him, is this in service to them what I'm doing? Because you think, oh, if I go home for Thanksgiving, I'm serving them. But you'll see really quickly, you're not serving them unless you're following guidance.
¿Y tú crees que ir con ellos es como estar en servicio? Pero pregunta, ¿tú no estarías en servicio de ellos al ir en acción de gracias sin ir en guía?
The trick
A
of the
menos que
ego
tú
is
estés
it's
en guía.
always going to, the ego's always going to make listening and following something to do tomorrow.
El ego va a querer hacer que el escuchar y el seguir, de hacerlo mañana. No,
It's a beast. It's a beast.
Es-
Specialness is a beast.
el especialismo es una bestia.
It is not friendly. It is not friendly.
No es amistoso, no es amistoso.
I can't, and we act like this thing is kind and our friend. It is not your friend. It wants to kill you.
No es tu amigo, no es tu amigo. Él quiere matar.
You cannot change, you cannot train this shark not to eat you.
No puedes entrenar a este tiburón para que no te coma.
Okay, that shark wants to eat you. You cannot train it.
No, este tiburón quiere morderte, comerte. No lo puedes entrenar.
So much love, so much love. Thank you all. So beautiful.
Muy, muy hermoso. Gracias a todos.
It's just precious. The mighties are so precious.
Los compañeros son muy preciosos, muy preciosos.
And to hear Jesus speak through you in those lessons in the morning, that is off the chain. How beautiful what you're saying is.
Y escuchar todo lo que viene de Jesús en los círculos, es fuera de serie.
As many have said, I discovered it myself too. You won't see it. Write notes, take notes.
Si creen que no lo pueden escuchar, hagan notas, escriban.
Okay. This is a Course in Miracles. Please take notes. He meant that for every Course in Miracles student.
Y cuando Jesús dijo, este es un curso de milagros, por favor escribe, eso es para todos los estudiantes del curso.
And share on the Light Brigade. That is what the Light Brigade is for. It is the place for you to share what you're learning about miracles, where you're becoming humbled by him. That's a great thing to share. You know, share, here's what he's teaching me.
Y compartir esto en la Brigada de la Luz y mostrar qué es lo que él nos está enseñando.
Here's how he showed me I was wrong.
Mira, mira aquí donde él me mostró que yo estoy equivocada.
What's so profoundly beautiful about the light circles is the humility everyone's bringing to bring it back to themselves and go, this is what I'm learning.
Y lo precioso que traen en estos círculos de luz es la humildad, donde decimos, mira, él me mostró.
See, and then you're in the honesty of the course in terms of learning the curriculum. You're in the curriculum with him rather than kind of talking about course concepts. You're taking the course, you're accepting the curriculum. Every time you talk about what he showed you, you just accepted part of the curriculum.
Porque cada vez que compartes esto es aceptar el currículum que él te dio.
And to teach is to demonstrate, and that is perfect demonstration.
Y enseñar es demostrar, y esto es una perfecta demostración.
It's demonstrating the power you have to hear the voice.
Es la demostración de que tú tienes el poder de escuchar esa voz.
It's demonstrating the power you have to choose differently.
Es el poder que tú tienes de escoger de manera diferente.
It's demonstrating in your practicing speaking your voice, which is the voice for God giving you.
Es practicar hablar la voz que Dios te dio.
And then you're giving the gift of yourself to your brother.
Y luego le das el regalo a tu hermano.
And then accepting the gifts that he offers you. I know you've all experienced that. It's so beautiful.
Y luego aceptas los regalos que él te trae. Eso es hermoso.
So thank you, Jesus. Thank you all. Love you very, very much.
Gracias, Jesús. Gracias a todos. Los amo mucho.
So I'm going to see if I can get some music. I can't say that I can. I'm going to try. Let's see. We did it. Whoa, it's loud.